Welcome to KryWolfe's review of Fair Loan Sales. Unlike other reviews, ours does not come with a scoring system but is more akin to an impression spanning the entire game. Now, we believe there is a game out there for everyone, a game out there that's not suited for everyone, and we try to keep this in mind. Let's start off with what Loan Sales is all about. FAR doesn't really tell you the setting, but instead relies on giving the player visual clues. What I will say is that this journey takes place on a barren seabed where the waters has long since dried up. Post-apocalyptic? Yes, but not your standard fare. Again, this game doesn't really tell you what your end goal is, but what is certain is that you'll be making a journey across the seabed, and to help you through all this, a fuel-powered vessel becomes available not long after the game starts. The vessel itself is the meat and bones of the game, in the form of micromanaging different mechanics such as mobility, repair, and scavenging. I'll be touching each one without spoiling too much of it. First thing you'll learn to manage is the vessel's mobility. The engine is initiated by pressing a button that resets over time. There is also a steam button that you'll have to press to avoid damaging the engine itself, but could be useful to give you a little boost if triggered at the right, precise moment. Now, the engine requires fuel, which you'll find scattered across the game. This is where the game becomes a tad bit tedious and micromanaging becomes apparent. When running low or hoarding fuel, you'll find yourself stopping the vehicle just to exit, pick up the fuel items, and reload your engine, which leads into the very minor scavenging aspect of the game. Mostly anything can be used as fuel, but some items will actually do minor damage to your engine and should only be used out of desperation. Eventually, you'll come across upgrades to your ship that makes micromanaging a little easier. The first of these upgrades are the sails. Then you'll come across others that will help you repair the vessel or quickly pick up items that are found on the ground. Keep in mind though, each of these upgrades come with their own problems. For example, the sails are good only if the wind is blowing the correct direction, and you have to manually drop the sails to avoid low-hanging obstacles if you want to avoid damage. All of this does sound tedious, but in the context of the game's length, it can be quite rewarding, especially when the game does a good job of keeping pace. The game isn't too long, nor is it too short, spanning only 2 to 3 hours, meaning all the micromanaging and tedious efforts doesn't last too long and actually comes off as an intentional challenge made by the game. Now, every so often you'll find your vessel blocked by an obstacle. These moments are lighthearted puzzle moments that usually reward you by upgrading your ship to better suit the challenges ahead. Again, this game is not for everyone. If you find yourself loving quite a few indie games or games like Journey, you should definitely give this game a try. If not, you might want to keep your distance. This is not an action-packed game. There will be moments where you find yourself just watching your vessel trek across the plains for half a minute. That is if you aren't busy managing it in the first place. I do want to quickly mention that I found myself getting slightly annoyed the game hasn't ended around the 2-hour mark, which is my only complaint, but was alleviated by the fact that the game did end after a puzzle sequence or two. Like I said before, no score system, but priced at $14.99, it's a guaranteed must-play for those who enjoy unique, quirky games. But if you have the $14.99 to spare, I say go for it. You might end up enjoying it.